What's going on, Falcon fans? This is Ricondo, a real Falcon fan, come back at you with another video. Before we get started, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. Let me know what you guys think about my video. Please hit the notification bell so you guys know when I drop another video. Alright, so we're getting close. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm excited. I'm so excited about this season. Well, I'll be excited about every season. Because if you're a real Falcon fan, you know what I'm talking about. Every year, we start off 0-0, and I'll be excited, And all my buddies are always talking about, hey, what the Falcons going to do this year? And I'll be like, hey, we're going to make it to the playoffs. We're going to the Super Bowl. Nah, I'm not like a Cowboy fan. Now, Cowboy fans, they've been saying that for, the last almost 30 years. So, but I do believe, and the reason I believe that we're going to actually have a pretty good season this year because of the talent on the team. And I mean, that's just simple as that. I think we got the talent. And I think we had the talent team for a while. So, I mean, just going back saying for the former regime that was here, amassing the talent, that was not the issue. I always believe the issue was that it was that the coaching philosophy and the culture. And I think that was the issue with the team. So, I mean, first of all, let's just look at it. First of all, any team out of the 32 teams that you got, you always want to think about you need a franchise quarterback, and we got that. I mean, we got Matt Ryan. He's been here for 13 years, going to the 14th season. He's been steady. And so when you got a franchise quarterback, you already got a good place to start. So just think about that. I mean, look at some of the talent we got. On the offensive side, Jake Matthews has been here a while. We drafted Chris Lindstrom, who's been here. Calvin Ridley, Hayden Hurst. We just picked up Kyle Pitts. Of course, we lost Julio, but at the same time, I still think we got enough weapons on the offense, and I think the talent is there. Like I said, one thing you always got to have, you have to start off with, is a franchise quarterback, and I think we got the franchise quarterback. So let's just say that from an offensive standpoint, I think we got talent. I think we have the talent on the defense as well. We did bring in some new faces this year, but just think about some of the old faces that we got from a talent standpoint. Grady Jarrett, I mean, 5th round draft pick. I mean, what else can you say about Grady Jarrett? AJ Terrell, who's at first everybody thought we should have went and got Henderson and the kid that played at Detroit, Okuda. Yeah, Jeff Okuda. We thought we should have got those two guys, but I think AJ Terrell turned out to probably be better than both of those guys. So that was, like I said, that was a great pick by the last regime. Deion Jones, great pick. Foye Olakun, great pick. Michael Walker, great pick. It's looking like Jalen Hawkins actually. Jalen Hawkins actually going to be a great pick. I mean, we just never got to see him on the field. Cordry Allison never got to see him on the field. So, like I said, I just think the talent is there. The culture is there. So, that's why I'm excited. I'm not going to do any predictions how many games we're going to win. We still got to see what these guys do. But just from changing the culture, using the talent, having that franchise quarterback, I think we're in a good position. And that's why I'm excited about this season. So, that's a great place to start. So today, for the first time, we heard from the coordinators, from the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, special team coordinator. So we heard from all three of those guys. So I'm just going to talk about what those guys, what they were saying about the team, what they had to say going into this last preseason game, and what they think about the 53-man roster that's going to have to build coming up here. That they got to get down the cut to. So let's start with the offensive coordinator, Dave Ragone. And first thing he said, like I said, he started out talking about Matt Ryan, how professional he is, how he's already locked in with the scheme. He came in, he knew exactly what he wanted to do. He hit the ground running. He wanted to be coached. After 13 seasons, he still want to be coached. That's great. That's what you want to do. And like I said, I think that's the reason Arthur Smith came, because he had a franchise quarterback. So if you just think about, when coach is taking the job, first thing they're going to do, look at the team, see what they got. Definitely he could have thought about drafting a quarterback in number 4, and starting there starting a new regime. Because if you come in a new regime, they always want their guy. But what they seen was they still had a franchise quarterback that was still playing at a high level, and they feel that he can get the job done. So what you want to do, since you got that franchise quarterback, you start building a team around him first, and then you bring in that rookie quarterback. That's the whole idea. That's what you're trying to do. So they were going to talk about him. He talked about how Hayden Hurst, Quadric Olison, Cardell Patterson, Mike Davis, Kyle Pitts, of course, Mr. Pitts. All those guys, the different weapons we got. He talked about how Calvin Ridley, just a straight up professional, how he works. He comes in, he says he's real smart. He likes to, get down to business. And we see that on the field. Calvin Ridley comes in, he runs those routes, and he always trying to get better. He thinks he's the number one receiver, and we all do think he's capable of being that number one receiver as well. So from an offensive standpoint, he just talked about these guys. These guys look good. Look like they're gonna get some run this Sunday, which is great. We need to see these guys out there 1 or 2 series. I think if we get the ball and we drive down the field and get a score on that first drive, I think that might be it. I think that's all we need to see. And so just look at it from that standpoint. From an offensive standpoint, I think that we got all the weapons we need. Yes, of course, we lost Julio Jones, but at the same time, we want to be a balanced team anyway. So we're not going to throw the ball a whole lot. We want to get that zone running scheme, the Arthur Smith run, bring it in, and let's run and pass with play action, and have some creativity. That's what we need. Let's create some creativity with all those weapons we got, and keep the defense on their toes. I think that we can actually do good on offense. So he also talked about how he's the offensive coordinator, but Arthur Smith is going to be calling the plays. He said he has experience with that because he did the same thing when he was in Chicago. So that's a good thing. So he know what it takes to help a head coach out. Because Matt Nagy was in Chicago, the head coach there, and he know how to be the offense coordinator, make sure that to get the offensive game plan for that week. Make sure Arthur Smith have all the plays he need going through that week, so he get ready to call plays. He can hit the ground running and do that. So that's awesome. So that's one thing Dave Ragone had to say about the offense. Let's go to special teams. So Maurice Williams talked about the special teams. One thing I like about what he said about special team is special teams is going to be built around that 53-man roster. So we're not just getting guys for special teams. We're getting guys so they can actually, they can do other things. So if, for an example, Avery Williams, he can play cornerback. He also can play return. So that's what special teams is all about anyway. I think people like Frank Darby, he really need to shine on the special teams. He need to be that gunner going down, need to make a play. Because I think right now, if they only keeping 5 receivers, he might be the odd man out. I hate to see that, even though he was one of the draft picks this year. So hopefully he can stick. But if you can do more than one thing on special teams, and that's what he talked about. He talked about, we're going to be the hammer, not the nail, which means that we're going to bring it to them. We're not going to sit back and let them dictate. And if people really don't understand how important special teams is, think about field position. We just talk about field position is one thing. Field position is great, really important. So if we could average, 28 to 30 yards on returns, that's going to get us great field position for our offense. If our punt team can pin teams deep and have them have to drive the field, 75, 80 yards or more, that'd be awesome. So just looking at field position from a special team standpoint, that's what we're looking for special teams. He talked about everybody getting their scheme in. The biggest thing is we got to see what these fringe guys, because some of these fringe guys, so most time when you're looking at 53-man roster, about 44 to 45 guys already pretty much solidified. So those last eight or nine players that's on the fringe. Those are guys got to try to make their mark, and it's going to be those cornerbacks, those receivers, those tight ends, those running backs, positions like that. That's need to make those last 8 or 9 spots. So that's what we're looking for special teams, and that's what this weekend is going to be about. So definitely we're going to get the starters in there, but we definitely need to see what we can do in special teams. One thing you can't dictate on special teams is how many times you're going to be able to punt, how many times you're going to be able to get a punt return. You know, you get to kick the ball off either in the beginning of the game or at halftime. So one of the two, you get to see it. But other than that, you really don't know what else you're going to get special team because all based on how good your defense and your offense plays. If your offense plays well, you get a lot of punt returns. And that's great. I mean, if your defense plays well, you get a lot of punt returns. So that's what you want. If the offense plays well, you get a lot of kickoff returns, hopefully, because they're scoring. So, I mean, you get a lot of kickoffs. I keep saying it backwards. So, the offense plays well, you get a lot of kickoffs. And you can see what your special team do on kickoff. So, offense plays bad, you can get a lot of punts. So, you guys get what I'm talking about. So, special teams is really important. All right, so let's get to the last coordinator, Dean Pease. So, when I heard Dean Pease, every time I hear Dean Pease talk, I get so fired up about football in general because I love his philosophy, how he talk about being multiple and how he talking about he's gonna be attacking defense. I mean, if you've been an Atlanta Falcon fan, just hearing that just get you fired up because like I put it in when I think about it like this. I think about when you're talking about like when I'm playing Madden, right? When I play Madden, I'm always blitzing. Just blitzing. You never want to get the quarterback, let the quarterback get comfortable back there. You want to bring that pressure. You want to dictate the terms. What I mean by dictating, I mean you're gonna attack them. So if you blitzing, they got to get the ball out fast. Of course, it's some quarterbacks that's real good in blitz, so you got to be smart about it. So that's why the disguise he talked about the different concepts and how he could mismatch the backside with the front side. The front side could be doing something different, but the backside might be in the same coverage or vice versa. He talked about just switching it up. He talked about his cornerbacks, learning concepts so they can play multiple positions, just being multiple. And the one thing I love with the Dean Pease talk about, which is it's really common sense when you think about it. And the old saying is common sense not common, right? But you want to put a guy in position where he can play to his strengths, right? So he talks about like so if a guy he's good at man to man, that's what you're gonna play him at man to man. Why would you put him in zone if he's not good at zone? So I mean, like I said, that's common sense. If this linebacker is a good cover linebacker, you're gonna put him in coverage. If he's not a good cover linebacker, why you put him in coverage? Like I said, because it's more about what your players can do and the talent you have on your team than about your scheme. That's why I'm so excited because I really believe this year when we play defense and based off what Dean P is talking about is that every game is going to be a different game plan to attack that offense. And that sounds crazy. Not to defend our goal line, to attack them. Like I said, dictate the terms to them because that's what we want to do. So just think about that. That's why I'm so pumped up, guys, about the Atlanta Falcons. I'm not even thinking about offense right now. I'm thinking about the defense because, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people might agree with me, that if we just had a top 15 defense a lot of these years, we can be a playoff team every year, just having a better defense. And believe it or not, it's just as simple as not being so bullheaded and saying I'm gonna do it this way. You guys need to learn how to play my scheme, and if you learn how to play it, it'll work. Well, if you don't have the players to play your scheme, it's not gonna work. I mean, you're not gonna have Earl Thomas come back. You're not gonna have Cam Chancellor come back. You see what I'm saying? So you're trying to play that cover 3, and you're not gonna have those front four guys when you don't have to blitz to put pressure on the quarterback. That's what we have. That's what they had with the Legion of Boom. So that's why that defense works so well, because those front four could get to the quarterback, and then you didn't have to blitz. You can sit back there and play your coverage, and then the guys that you did have playing coverage, they was good at what they do. Richard Sherman was good playing that cover 3. Earl Thomas was good being that safety. Cam Chancellor was good coming and being that strong safety. Putting 8 in the box, he had to going back in coverage. That's what he was good at. So, and of course, the linebackers they had. So just think about that. We don't have that kind of talent to play that kind of defense. That's why it was on the coaching staff, the culture, to put the talent that we did have and put them in position to be successful. I mean, just think about a couple of guys. Think about Isaiah Oliver. Once he moved in and playing the slot, he played better. He was closer to the line. He's a great tackler. He's not good. I don't think he was good in man-to-man. I mean, I just go back to the first game of the season when they put him out there on the island with DK Metcalf, and just burnt him straight on that 4th and 5, I think it was. So, I mean, and I just think putting him at that in closer to the line, where he's a great tackler, play him to his strengths, and he learns some safety tendencies, so they can mix and match with him and Everett Harris, Deron Harmon, Jalen Hawkins, Richard Grant. They can mismatch those guys and bring them in, and then like I said, when the quarterback and the offensive line, it don't know where the pressure is coming from. That's how you saying you're gonna be multiple. So that's what I think about our 3 coordinators, what they said today. Like I said, I'm excited. I know everybody excited to see what Kyle Pitts gonna do this weekend. Right? We really need to see. I mean, I already everybody knows what this guy's gonna do. I mean, he's a rare talent, and as long as he get out there and our offensive line play like it should play against these guys, I mean, because we're gonna have our ones out there this week. It'll be interesting to see who they put at left guard. Probably gonna be Josh Andrews, and it's gonna be interesting to see how he hold up. And I really like playing against this Cleveland Browns team, because I think they got a good front. So we're going to see what these guys are all about. I will go ahead and let you guys know, probably do it tomorrow or Saturday. I'm going to go ahead and put my projection for the 53-man roster. If you go back and look at what I did, what I put back out earlier, I'm already looking like that. I was wrong. I was wrong on a couple players, because I had Richard Grant starting. I had Jalen Hawkins making the team. I had Jalen Mayfield starting at the left guard, I think, and I had Michael Walker at outside linebacker. So it's going to be a little changes from what I had before we started training camp. That's just what I was thinking. But looking at these first 2 preseason games, looking at the depth chart, looking at what's been going on for this last past 3 weeks, look like I was wrong on something, and I'm glad, because that means that the guys that I did pick, besides Jalen Hawkins, is that those guys can be depth guys. They don't start, so that's going to be awesome. And also, if anybody heard, Jalen Hawkins actually signed with the Tennessee Titans today, so good for him. I was hoping he was going to be able to come back to the practice squad, but that's what it is. When you cut a young player who we all thought had talent and just didn't get the reps. And one thing that's going around right now, in the is everybody talking about the preseason, and why we haven't played our starters in the first 2 preseason games. So everybody had different philosophies on it, but this one thing that I know, and I think everybody would agree with me, is that you practice like you play. So, and I just think that the practices have been good for a lot of these guys, especially our starters. I think the coaching staffs got what they need to see from the starters in practice. You practice how you supposed to play. So if you go out and you practice hard, of course you're not tackling, you're not doing any of that stuff, but it translates that you understand what the objective is, what we're trying to do. You understand the scheme. You got enough tape. You got enough tape. They don't need to see if you could, because think about it. It's just going to be a vanilla run offense anyway. It's going to be a vanilla run defense anyway in preseason. So they got enough tape to see that you have the ability to do that. If they feel like you can run their scheme in practice, that's why they're doing it. The main thing is to get to the regular season healthy. That's the main thing. Also, the whole thing you gotta do, you gotta build your depth. You have to give these young guys opportunities to go out there to see what they can do. And so that's what they've been doing. Of course, we want to see these guys get out there and play. We want to see them, but I really don't want to see them get hurt. If they can get hurt in this third preseason game, they can get hurt the first game of the season. I mean, that's football. Injuries happen. But when the season starts, you get hurt first game of the season, hey, that game counts. Preseason games don't count. Nobody keeps preseason records. Everybody upset because they're saying the Falcons getting blown out. Don't matter if they getting blown out. You're looking at individual performances from players that you think gonna make the team. We already know all those guys not gonna make the team anyways. 90 guys, so they got to get to 53. So you're looking at for individual performances, and what we have seen from some individual performances from game 2, from 1 to 2, we saw some guys stand out. We saw Dorian Etridge stand out. We saw Jalen Hawkins stand out. We saw Marlon Davidson stand out. We saw Michael Walker. We saw these guys stand out. We saw Avery Williams on return game. We saw the offensive line have a big difference from week 1 to week 2. Who was able to get our running backs going. Caleb Huntley, that's why Jalen Hawkins is gone, because what Caleb Huntley been doing. So just think about that, guys. When we thinking about, we want these guys, our starters, to get out there just so we can win a preseason game. Nobody cares if you win a preseason game or not. What we want is these guys to be healthy. And of course, we want to see them out there this weekend. 1 or 2 series. See if they got it. See if you practice like you play. Of course, you're going to put out there. We're not going to new scheme, new regime. I get it, but if they felt like these guys wasn't grasping their schemes, they would put them out there to play them. And think about this. Like I said, if Matt Ryan hadn't been in the league, and I think Arthur Smith said this, if he had a younger quarterback, he probably would have played in the first and second preseason game, because he need to get those NFL reps. But you don't need to put a quarterback who's been in the league 13 years out there to risk him getting injured in a meaningless preseason game. Now, Kyle Pitts probably should have been out there. He's a rookie. So out of all the guys that have not been playing, maybe Kyle Pitts probably should have been the one to put out there. But he didn't want to put him out there with second and third string, because he's going to contribute a lot. So that's why he didn't want to put Kyle Pitts out there, and I understand that as well. Like I said, he showed what he need to show in practice. He showed what he need to show in the joint practice with the Miami Dolphins. So you practice like you play. That's why I think they haven't been playing this preseason game. So guys, that's all I got. Like I said, I will put out my 53-man roster projections probably tomorrow or Saturday. See how close I come. Because it's always going to be about how many running backs, how many receivers, how many tight ends. I think the linemen and how many linebackers as well. That's going to be interesting. So we're going to go down the list and see. How close I come to with my projections, and see if the coaching staff see what I saw and what I think. Like I said, for the most part, I think we all agreeing that probably 44 to 45 guys already solidified their spot. So it's going to be those 8 or 9 guys that's battling it out this weekend. And one of the biggest ones are biggest one is who's going to be our backup quarterback. So we know those guys will get a lot of reps. We know Felipe Franks and Josh Rosen is going to play a lot. That's why I can only see Matt Ryan if he plays. When he plays, he's only going to probably play 1 or 2 series, and then we're going to put those backup guys in because we got to actually see who's going to be our backup quarterback. So with that, guys, that's all I got. Like I said, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the like button and let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about our coordinators, what they had to talk about today. Let me know what you guys think about what you think what we're going to see from the third preseason game. And then let me know if you guys as confident as I am about what our Falcons going to do this year, because I think the culture has changed. And I said this in one of my other videos, is that if we could bring that AFC North type, attitude to the NFC South on our defense, that's what I want to see. I want to see that Pittsburgh, that Baltimore type defense. When you playing that defense, you're gonna get hit in the mouth. They're gonna attack all game, all year long. That's what we want to see. And with that, guys, this is Ricondo, a real Falcon fan. See you guys later. Peace.